Hello and welcome to the Money Show, your one-stop destination for all your personal finance queries. I'm Kavita Thaplial, and today we have a very interesting show where we'll be talking about insurance premium hike for senior citizen and what is the new stand that the regulator has taken. We'll be deep diving into the discussion and talking about the benefits that IRDA is trying to explain the stakeholders, and also having new set of rules as far as insurance coverage for senior citizen is concerned. And later on, we'll be talking about your investment portfolio as well, where we'll be talking to our viewers and sorting out their financial portfolio queries. We can do that for you as well. If you want to get your portfolio checked, you can WhatsApp us your queries on 8657974571. We also have an email ID, which is themoneyshow@etnow.tv, where you can send across your queries and we can have it answered live. All right, so let's begin the show, and we are already seeing a lot of concern over steep rise in health insurance renewal premiums. The premiums have actually gone up from 15 to 100% in some cases, especially if you talk about senior citizens. Now, what has the regulator done? Regulator has actually decided to, clamp down such uncontrolled annual hikes in the premium. And just on 30th January, the insurance regulator spoke to insurance companies to ensure that the renewal premium increases should not exceed 10% in the cases of senior citizen policies. The exact wording of the regulator, wordings are: as part of the ongoing monitoring of insurance products offered in the Indian insurance market, it is observed that there is a steep increase in premium rates under some of the health insurance products offered to senior citizen, which is above age 60 and above. How do we look at this particular stand that the regulator has taken? There has been a lot of debate over this and a lot of concern and a lot of demand also from the stakeholders as well. But then let's deep dive more and let's also understand what exactly are we talking about, and how is the premium cap going to work, and other stakeholders going to really participate in this. I have with me Mahavir Chopra, founder beshak.org, and we have Siddharth Singhal, Head of Health Insurance Policy Bazaar. Mahavir and Siddharth, good evening. Welcome to the show. Mahavir, a lot of time we have spoken about this. You have come up with your own concerns about having the right kind of insurance reform for senior citizen, and especially the rising premium has been a very huge concern. Can we say this? Can we quote this as the first step towards this particular concern that the regulator has taken? It has at least acknowledged this concern and this demand of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a big win for all of us. I think you have, Kavita, also been speaking about this for a long time, and we've spoken about this in multiple forums. I think it's a big win, honestly, that the regulator, the government, is now basically cognizant of the fact that this is impacting senior citizens significantly. And people are actually thinking of dropping off such policies which are actually significantly important for their financial well-being in the future, right? So from that perspective, it's a great start. Of course, there are concerns about how this will be basically implemented on ground by insurance companies. But I completely agree with you that it's a great start. And I think the fact that the regulator has basically decided to act upon this in itself is a great step.
Exactly. So yes, there has been an action. Now, Siddharth, let's also look at the actions taken. Regulator has directed that non-life and health insurance companies should not revise the senior citizen health insurance premiums by more than 10% per annum. How can we look at this? Because we know about the medical inflation. We also know about the kind of expenses insurance companies need to take stock of. Keeping their business also in mind, is it really feasible, possible for these insurance companies and stakeholders to actually cap down senior citizen health insurance premium till 10%?
Sure. I think that's a very, very important question, and thank you for asking it. See, as you rightly said, because it has to be a right balance, and it's a very positive move at the outset. I must say that a senior citizen, a retired person does not have that regular source of income, and obviously they depend a lot on all our parents, etc. Depend on savings. See, you have to understand what generally happens is that premium hikes happen because of two reasons. Largely, there are two factors which contribute to a premium increase. One is the age-based premium increase, which is basically as you grow older, there's a higher propensity to claim, and hence the premium is higher. So, for example, a person who's 40-year-old versus a 50-year-old versus a 60-year-old versus a 70-year-old. So there'll be different premiums that'll be charged because there is a certain likelihood how you are likely to get hospitalized. So that part is going to continue because obviously that's how the insurance works. The second part, which is basically a lot of inorganic hikes which happen, which is, let's say, on the complete portfolio of the insurance company, because the cost of hospitalization goes up every year. The hospitals, the medical inflation in India is estimated to be around somewhere about 14-15%. So for the insurance companies to maintain their book or maintain their ability to pay claims in the future, they had to increase the premium. See, but earlier the problem had been that the let's say the second type of hikes would happen, let's say, once in 3 years, 4 years, but when they happen, they would happen at a 30%, 40% level. So a person, and naturally so, a person would feel that automatically my premium has gone up very drastically. But with this kind of a regulation coming in, the premium hikes will be much more gradual. So on an average, earlier also it used to be maybe about 8, 9, 10% annually. But since it used to happen at a in a way a lump sum level, or once in 3 years, 4 years, automatically 30, 40, 50% hike would happen. Now it will be much more uniform, and which is much more, I would say, easy on the consumer's pocket, senior citizen pocket. And so I think it's a very positive move that way. So I think the industry and the insurance companies should be able to find a balance between how they maintain the profitability, so that at a later point in time they have to pay the claims as well, and also not pinch the customer's pocket.
Also, all right, that's a very important aspect, from the insurer's point of view that you have explained. But then again, talking about the policy holders, Mahavir, a lot of things IRDI has also stressed upon, like withdrawing special policies that cannot be done without prior the regulator's permission, and definitely offering. They cannot cut down any important offerings also to senior citizens. They cannot force them to buy another expensive products. How are we talking about streamlining all of this? Because we are talking about senior citizen, and as per some data, by 2030 we'll be having close to 20% of a population which will be senior citizen. Now we are talking about a large number of people getting into this age group. It's right that we are expecting insurance for all by 2047. It's a great vision. We are working on that track also, but this really needs to have all the stakeholders on the same page. Like Siddharth also rightly explained, it is not as easy as it sounds, and a lot of stakeholders might not completely and immediately come on board with this.
Absolutely. So basically, if you look at the reason why premiums increase, right, there are largely two reasons, and some of which is what Siddharth also mentioned right now. One of which is the healthcare inflation, and that has a direct impact on how hospitals are charging patients today. If there's no regulation that comes on hospital billing, this is going to be unsustainable for insurance companies, because insurance companies will find ways either to not give policies to new senior citizens who are looking at health insurance, or may curtail the policies in whatever best way or capability they would have. Right. The other aspect is basically that health insurance companies need to be able to attract a lot of young individuals in their policy, so that they can balance out the premiums that they're charging versus the claims that they have to pay for senior citizens. And that is something which requires large amount of awareness and driving trust about the product. Today we are in a very big vicious circle of basically not seeing a lot of trust factors being solved, like for example premiums increasing significantly all of a sudden, or claims not being paid, or in stories about these that claims get deducted and not being paid are basically all over the place, all over social media and everywhere else. And hence it's causing a lot of trust issues. Plus the awareness of health insurance, which is basically quite a complicated product, is something which is an issue, and hence young people are not able to trust the product so easily, and they take a lot of time to come into the policy. So typically today, the age at which a health insurance is being bought is in the age group of around 29, 30 or 31, in that age group, right? As if we are able to get people even younger in the health insurance pool, it will definitely have a direct impact on how premiums are charged today, right? So the awareness aspect, the aspect of trust, and solving healthcare inflation are going to be important things that are supposed to be solved by stakeholders, which will include regulator, distributors, insurance companies, as well as hospitals. And hence, this can be solved for us at a sustainable level, is what I feel.
All right, Siddharth, now apart from all this, now there are concerns that insurance companies could actually raise the entry barriers for senior citizens, because they definitely cannot hike the premium for existing policy, but then they can make the onboarding very expensive for them. They can talk about new exclusions or new cappings. What about this impact on senior citizens then,
So
Siddharth?
I think, I mean, our sense is that may not happen, and I don't think the insurance companies would take it as a way to do it, because see, insurance is all about expanding the pool, so they would need more people, to be a part of that pool. See, what we have to also understand is, in last 1 year, though the premiums have increased, but the average ticket size has not gone up, and I'll tell you the reason why. So though obviously the cost of hospitalization has gone up, and rightly, what Mr. Mahavir also said, that the cost of hospitalization goes up, and probably we also at some point in time need some sort of a regulator there as well, and see how hospitalization costs can be kind of moderated. That is one part of it, but the second major part is there's a lot of product innovation also has happened in the last couple of years. Just to give you an example, now there are certain set of discounts, etc., which are available as a part of health insurance policy. For example, if you opt for a preferred partner network of the insurance company, for example, a regular network would comprise of 10,000 hospitals, and if you choose to go to maybe 9,500, and if you choose not to go to, let's say, the top expensive 500 people, then you get a discount in your policy. Secondly, you can opt for a senior citizen. Deductible as an option makes a lot of sense, because you save up to 25% of premium if you choose to pay 25,000 rupees from your own pocket should a claim arise. It's not that every year you have to pay, but I mean, should a claim arise, you have to pay that money. You can again reduce your premium. Thirdly, example is, again, you can lower a room rent category. Now there are plans available which you can go to all the major hospitals, and if you choose to go to a general ward or a twin sharing room, you can get a lot of discount in your policy. So from a product innovation perspective, there's been a lot of enablement in terms of reducing the final impact of premium on the consumer. Because, like I said, I think the idea of the regulator, the insurance companies, distributors, everybody is to increase the insurance pool so that the overall health insurance penetration goes up in the country. So I think I don't see any additional barriers coming in. In fact, the underwritings have in fact gotten relaxed over the past few years. The product innovation would be the answer going forward as well, that what do you offer as the right premium to the right set of customer.
Sure, sure. I do have a lot of other questions to ask to both of you, but then my time is up for this discussion. So far in spirit, this particular step looks great, but then we have to really see how it gets implemented, and eventually how the benefit is seen to all the senior citizens who are opting for these kind of insurance policies, which they actually should. Thank you so much, both of you, for being on this show, for having this discussion and helping our viewers understand all the nitty-gritties around this. We'll take a quick break, and post that let's connect with our viewers. Let's get their portfolio queries answered. I'll be live with Nisreen Mamaji after this break.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.